So, Bucks Nets was definitely a game of the year candidate. Two great teams in the East, two superstars in Giannis and Kevin Durant going head to head. And I think the biggest story of the game has to be Giannis because he played so well. He had 44 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists on 21 shots, and he was just great on the whole game on both ends of the court. He became the Bucks all-time leading scorer, and he had a few massive shots, including a step-back three to send it to overtime, which was really impressive. And then in overtime, he hit 2 game-winning free throws with about 3 seconds left. And yeah, just overall played to get a great game. Did the Giannis things where he's a traditional big man and was catching lobs and finishing at the rim. And then, showed off some of the stuff that he's been developing this year. Obviously the three, but he had a few mid-range jumpers, a few mid-range fadeaways, which, are just really scary for opposing teams, because if you get a guy who's already physically one of the most dominant players in the NBA, and he's adding jumpers, and he's obviously a great player defensively, I do think he is the best player in the NBA right now, and it's not just because of this one game, it's because of how consistently he plays so well on both ends of the court. I don't think anyone can match his two-way value. And yeah, tonight he was just absolutely amazing in a big game against the Nets. 44 points, and of course the win, 120 to 119. Kevin Durant, was also pretty good in this game. He had 11 assists, 26 points. And yeah, if Giannis isn't the best player in the NBA, I think a lot of people would be arguing for Kevin Durant because, his mid-range is obviously unstoppable, and, he's super tall and super skilled, and he had a chance to win the game with 3 seconds left and didn't hit it. But I think he makes the Nets a totally scary team to play in the playoffs, especially given that they could be a 7 or 8 seed, or they will be a 7 or 8 seed if they do make the playoffs. And to think that we could get Nets versus Bucks in the first round as a 1-8 or a 2-7 is absolutely insane, because, that's a series worthy of a conference finals. And, every time Giannis plays KD and every time the Nets, Bucks, and then Bucks play, it's always a great game, like it was last year in the 7-game series. And then this year, I feel like nothing's different. You still have the Bucks big three, Giannis, Holiday, Kyrie, Giannis, Holiday, Middleton versus Kyrie and Kevin Durant, and then maybe Ben Simmons, though I'm not hopeful, because of all the back stuff, and just doesn't seem like he's gonna play this year. If I talk about other stuff from this game, so yeah, for the Bucks, it was only really Giannis. He was the only player to score over 20 points. Middleton got ejected for a foul that I don't think was worthy of being ejected for. It was just a hard foul in transition. I think a flagrant 2 was a bit too much. Drew Holiday, he was all right. I thought a few times I actually wish they just gave it to Giannis a bit more instead of having Holiday bring it up. And, a few times in overtime in the fourth quarter, I thought they would have been better off just giving it to Giannis other than Holiday. But he was incredible defensively, especially on Kyrie Irving, who he really kept quiet in crunch time and in overtime. Kyrie still finished with 25 points, but really didn't feel like he had an impact on the game down the stretch because of Drew Holiday's defense. But for the Nets, Durant obviously played well. Bruce Brown played well. If Simmons doesn't play for them, I think Brown, he's the guy who could be seeing more minutes because they do similar things, except Ben Simmons is a lot taller. And I also thought Claxton was pretty good for them off the bench. So, yeah, I think the Nets, without Simmons, I don't think they're good enough to make it to the finals. I don't think they're good enough to win 3 playoff series in a row. But in a one-off series, when they have Durant and when they have Kyrie Irving, if they're playing a team other than the Nets, I think they have a really, really good chance. Other than the Bucks, they have a really good chance. And even if they do play the Bucks, it's obviously, I think it's going to be a really close series just because, Kevin Durant is really, really good at basketball. Yeah, but overall, massive performance from Giannis. I think he's the best player in the world because of his two-way ability. And yeah, the Bucks come away with this win, and I think you have to be feeling good about them. It feels like they're just getting into gear at the right time. And yeah, I don't think either of these teams will want to play each other in the first round. And yeah, if they don't, I think the Bucks have a really good chance to make it to the finals because of Giannis and because of how good the big three is. The rest of the team didn't even play that well today for the Bucks. Going down the list, a lot of players you think could play better, like Brook Lopez. Obviously, Middleton can play better than that. Even the bench, just overall, they can shoot better. And if they do, I think they're the favorites to win in the East. But anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like and subscribe.